this bone-hard pitch a reminder of what happened here last season when, on a frozen surface at the Holt End, Liverpool scored 3 times in the first half and went on to win 4-2 on what's been a lucky ground for Liverpool over the last few years. They've won 7 of their last 11 league matches here. They're about to come out again on a pitch where they've also been unbeaten in 5 FA Cup semi-final matches and a League Cup final replay. Familiar faces to you now, all of them, I would think. Ronnie Whelan is the sub at the end. Liverpool in their change strip of all yellow. And very much aware too that if they were to slip up here tonight, it could put a different emphasis on the championship race, because Manchester United are still very much in contention. From Liverpool's point of view, a home defeat by Wolves in their last league game was somewhat offset by that fighting performance at Sheffield Wednesday in the Milk Cup on Tuesday night. And indeed on that same night, Aston Villa claimed their place in the semi-finals of the Milk Cup when they won 2-0 at Norwich. And as their players go through, there was no doubt at all that that result brought a wave of relief around Villa Park, where there's been a great deal of speculation recently about what might happen if Villa were to get knocked out of that competition, having already lost in the FA Cup. So Alan Evans leads them out. The welcome from the loyalists at the Holt End. So the team news tonight shows that Liverpool are unchanged, and that's no great surprise. Craig Johnston keeps the number 10 shirt, and Michael Robinson is at number 7. The news of Kenny Dalglish, by the way, is that he won't be fit for at least a month. Indeed, Liverpool hoping he'll be back for their quarter-final of the European Cup against Benfica, whose manager is here tonight to watch the opposition. Talking indeed to, he's a Swede, is the Benfica manager Sven Eriksson, and I was talking to him before the game. As regards Aston Villa, well, they feel decide which won at Norwich. That means Des Bremner plays in the back 4 alongside Alan Evans, and Paul Rideout is preferred at number 11 to Mark Walters. Curiously, both Rideout and number 10 Steve McMahon turned down the chance to join Liverpool in the summer and chose Villa instead. And one young man who must decide his future very soon is Gary Shaw. He's 23 years old tomorrow. He's just been offered a new 5-year contract by Aston Villa, which would make him one of the highest paid players in the country. And Jimmy, they obviously see him as their most valuable asset.
Well, indeed, and it's a big responsibility on his young shoulders, really. If there's anything that's suspect about him, it's not his ability. He does seem rather prone to injuries. He plays in a dangerous part of the field, a beautifully balanced player, turns very well, not easy to handle, but defenders do try and get at him to reduce his effectiveness. But a crisp shot on goal, and under the conditions tonight, quite a dangerous player, I would think. The ground will favour players who balance well, and that means if you're too tall, life is going to be a little difficult.
Bobby Robson is expected to be among the crowd tonight, Jimmy, and I think one player who you'll obviously be watching again is Nigel Spink. He was capped once in Australia in the summer, and some people believe he could be the successor to Peter Shilton.
Well, with Ray Clements in different form lately, there are a few contenders for that job, and Nigel Spink's hardly done anything wrong when I've seen him, except in that match against Norwich the other week, when Chris Wood looked spectacular in the other goal. But it's good for Bobby Robson, who, incidentally, as a result of television, is able to watch extra matches. He gets one on a Friday night sometimes and one on a Sunday because of live television, which I'm sure he appreciates, because it's not easy for one man to keep right up to date with everyone's form. So he's happy. I'm sure that players like Spink and Woods and others are really showing themselves to be selected if necessary.
Well, many of the players had a look at the pitch and decided it would take no sort of stud at all, so some of them are playing in flats. It's very hard in the two goal mouths especially, and the referee tonight is Ray Lewis from Surrey. The teams have met once already in the Cannon League this season, Liverpool winning 2-1 at Anfield back in September. And it'll be Liverpool who will attack the Holt End in the first half, where we had all those frolics in the corresponding match last season. Ian Rush there, number 9, has scored in this fixture for the last 2 years, so he's on an unusual type of hat-trick. And on his far side is Michael Robinson. And away we go, with Villa in their normal claret and blue. Rush already through the middle, and Gary Williams fell, or threatened to fall, the first sign that the pitch would be so difficult for players running back towards their own goal. Souness into Rush. Here's With. And Shaw, whose sense of balance could be important on this surface. Good tackle by Souness. He's got 4 players up with him for Liverpool. Sammy Lee, Craig Johnston. Mortimer was the covering player. That's Evans. This is Gibson. Referee is going to have to make quite sure that when accidents happen, players don't get overexcited, because there'll be plenty of spills, I would think, on this surface. Such a famous ground, this, and we've talked about Liverpool's good record here. I ought to say on behalf of the Villa fans that there was a time back in 1976 when Liverpool were actually 5-1 down at half-time in a league game here. Actually, the score stayed that way until the end. Kick by Spink, searching for Rideout. Here's Kirbishley, and this is Shaw. Williams. And Hansen in on Gary Williams. And Alan Evans has pushed forward to support With and Rideout. The ball has been played short to McMahon, and it went through to With, and here's Shaw. Mortimer now. Shaw again. Phil Neal. Here's Robinson. And Williams. Rideout and With pushed well forward for Aston Villa, and a suggestion that Shaw will try and nip in from behind them, as he attempted to do there. Williams. With Hansen. Forward by Kirbishley. Here's Rideout. And away by Lawrence for the corner. Well, Villa have certainly got some power in the air with this lineup on set plays. The trio of Evans, With and Rideout. And there's Peter With. It's a bit awkward for Liverpool. Sammy Lee left his position on the post to volley clear. Forward by Gibson to Rideout. Shaw is just inside him. Lawrenson was the defender. Corner again. So Mortimer's gone across to take this one. There's Peter With once more. Liverpool had pulled 10 players back. Here's Des Bremner. Gibson slipping a little, but it's still through to With. Mortimer is running on here. And Peter With, one of 3 Merseyside-born players in the Aston Villa team, gets in the first significant shot of the match. The empty terracing there behind that right-hand goal at the Whitton Lane end is for reasons of security and segregation. The Liverpool fans are just to the right of that. Bremner. With Gibson, the player, coming through from behind. Shaw waiting inside. That was Johnston for Liverpool. And then a header by Rush. Touched by Robinson, went astray. That was Steve Nicol. Mortimer's miskick. Lee now. Good ball for Robinson. Well, a corner's been given. Looked to me from Des Bremner's reaction as if that might have been a goal kick, but referee far closer than we are. Here's Lee for Liverpool. Robinson trying to squeeze it at the near post. Johnston to Neil. Johnston again, and an easy one for Nigel Smith. On by With. Mortimer. Colin Gibson to take the throw for Aston Villa. After the number of goals that have been scored in the corresponding fixture in recent years, it's perhaps not surprising to see the 2 teams making a somewhat cautious and tentative start. Here's Mortimer. Gibson. Souness in front of Shaw. Bremner. Neil. Lawrenson. Here's McMahon. There he is again. Very competitive player. Indeed, he was sent off, Steve McMahon, at Anfield earlier this season after a clash with Souness. Nicol. And Souness. Nice ball for Craig Johnston to chase. They've got 2 in the centre waiting. Souness supporting him again. It was Rush who lost his foothold. Lee, who got the ball forward again and followed it through himself. Mortimer saw the danger. And that was With colliding with Souness. So Kennedy finds Hansen. Robinson's in there. So is Johnston. Kirbishley. Found right out. And McMahon in turn was looking for Gibson.
Interesting that pass there in front of the man. It's just the sort of ball not to give tonight. Under these conditions, you've got to play to feet. Those of you who might be going out to play yourselves tomorrow might remember that on this type of ground. In the middle of the field, play it to feet like that each time, so that the man it's coming to can remain balanced. And if you can get the final through ball over the heads of the defenders, you've done very well indeed under difficult circumstances.
Sonny Lee getting it forward. Souness. Shaw. Foul by Michael Robinson, losing his arm. Here's Gary Williams. Shaw making a run. And Hansen was deceived by the bounce of the ball with Kerbishley. And it was Nicol who got back. Just over 10 minutes gone here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 0. That was Robinson, and this is Rush. Lee spreading wide to the right. Neil starts to join the attack. There he is. It's found Johnston. Unusual, but they're waiting for Spink, and he didn't quite come quick enough. The referee may have felt there was a foul, but there was hesitation in the Aston Villa ranks there. Phil Neal had caused some confusion by getting forward well. Dangerous play, in fact, in the end on the goalkeeper. Right out looking for width, and Shaw against Neil, and he's licked it. Kerbishley's in the middle, the others are trying to get there. It's Shaw, and Liverpool had so many men back. It just goes to show how good their teamwork is. Gary Shaw burst past Phil Neal, but there were 4 other yellow shirts waiting to defend. Evans. Lawrenson tangles with width, who tries to set the play up for Villa. Here's McMahon.
Well, we saw Steve McMahon score before the match, and he very nearly repeated it there. That one was sliced. The one you saw beforehand, he hooked into the top corner, but that one was a good attempt in the circumstances, but not good enough to beat Grobbelaar.
Gibson with the header. Here's Shaw. Gibson is an important attacking factor for Aston Villa, back after an injury spell. It's a cross which didn't do him justice, but while he was out of the side, Colin Gibson, they lost quite a lot of their attacking strength down the left-hand side, especially now that Tony Morley has departed. Gibson started life as a winger and can still fill that role. Grobbelaar suitably dressed for the occasion. Robinson, and that was Rush tangling with Mortimer, and then with Bremner, and the referee spotting that Craig Johnston followed through on Dennis Mortimer. His foot was high. Was Hansen to Johnston. Williams. Kerbishley. Came off Kennedy to width. Held a bit by Souness. Free kick. Played in quickly to Rideout by McMahon, and Rideout will get a corner. Grobbelaar presumably got a touch. Look how Liverpool was sleeping there on the free kick. It was played in very quickly by McMahon to Rideout. The defenders were still, some of them turned the other way. Grobbelaar saved it, corner to Aston Villa. How often do you see Liverpool caught out like that? Rideout had bags of room. Good quick thinking though by Steve McMahon. Here's Kerbishley, and again Villa have got players going through the centre, touched on for Mortimer from Rideout, and Mortimer has put Aston Villa into the lead. A typical run by him, but how well set up by number 11 for Rideout with the Liverpool defence square. It's the old story. If you can get your midfield player through from deep, you've got a chance. Rideout turned it on, Mortimer was the player running, number 6, and as Grobbelaar came out, he put Aston Villa into the lead. Jimmy Hill.
Well, Liverpool looked anything but champions in the way they faced up to that free kick just before. It really was most untypical, and they paid for it immediately afterwards with that fine ball from Kerbishley touched on by Rideout, and that was enough for Dennis Mortimer to give them a lead maybe that they didn't expect, but they're going to enjoy it now.
So the goal coming just after a quarter of an hour's play. And Dennis Mortimer, who's scored so many goals from that sort of run, he's got one, I remember, against Liverpool here a few years back. Again, showing his trademark, timing his run well, and a good finish too. It's actually Mortimer's 5th goal of the season, and he'll be pleased with that. McMahon to Kerbishley. Back again to Kerbishley. Width is at the far post, or beyond it in fact. It took 2 defenders to block him, and indeed the referee has penalised Peter Width for knocking one of them over. Dennis Mortimer, who has agreed a new contract with Aston Villa this week for a further year, is the goal scorer, and if you've just turned on that second and missed the goal, it means Aston Villa lead 1-0, Mortimer the scorer. Forward by Neil for Rush to chase. That's Bremner. Johnston with the throw. And Nicholas stolen forward and forced a corner. Liverpool often at their most dangerous when they're stung by a goal such as that one, so can they get that quickly? It's happened many times before. But Spink very much in charge there, and the throw was ambitious and well worth a try, except the pitch really defeated Gary Shaw. McMahon was backing up. Rush on the chase. Evans the defender. Kennedy. That came off Shaw, it's a corner. Liverpool have been putting Steve Nicol into a near-post position on corners of late. They've also got Robinson in there. and he got up quite well. Rushes there. Des Bremner behind him. And now Mark Lawrenson. Now, can Liverpool beat the offside game? Not like that. Souness forward. Kirbishley. Nicol. It's Bremner. Craig Johnston. And Mortimer. And With going down under challenge from Souness. Bit of good humour between the two players. 20 minutes gone, Aston Villa leading by Mortimer's goal. Rideout gets up with Hansen, forward by Souness. Kennedy. That's one for Robinson to chase, they're waiting for Spink. This is Kennedy. Mortimer and Lee. Rush. Souness, that's a good-looking ball to Craig Johnston. Robinson is in the centre, but that's a goal kick. Or is it? The referee says corner. Well, Ray Lewis seemed absolutely certain. An Evans clearance, picked up by Hansen. Souness still well forward, but there's a flag up for offside. Rush trying to get behind the defence, but Evans was there. That was Kennedy. Johnston chasing. There's Mortimer. McMahon. And With. And Kirbishley. And Villa again. Oh, it's still on. It's still on. With to Shaw. Trying to find Rideout. And is this going to fall for With? No, it isn't. But with Liverpool square on this sort of surface, there are going to be possibilities there for Aston Villa, as we've seen already. And a possibility here for Ian Rush. Oh! his touch lets him down, but can he get it back inside? It's still Rush. Tried to find Robinson. One of the coolest finishers in the business. Found there, but his touch just deserted him. He was clean through. Curbishly. And there's one for Rideout to chase with Lawrenson. Neil. Well, the fans didn't agree with that decision either, but Liverpool have possession. Sammy Lee. Souness well forward. Johnston waiting for Neil. Here's Lee. Good try by Sammy Lee and turned over by Nigel Spink. It was a good effort. Sammy Lee catching that just nicely, and Spink saw it all the way. Just over 25 minutes gone. Liverpool a goal down, have the corner. Nicol with the flick. And McMahon with time to look up, trying to find Gary Shaw. In case you've joined us in the last few minutes, Dennis Mortimer's goal put Aston Villa ahead in the 16th minute. We've just seen Ian Rush miss a very good opportunity for Liverpool. Those are the highlights so far of this important First Division match. Johnston on. Kennedy to Rush. Defenders slipping. Rush will be wondering just what happened there. He was on, it seemed, for his 25th goal of the season, but I wonder if the conditions had something to do with it. I think he may have slipped at the vital moment. Here with a view on that very subject is Jimmy Hill.
I think he did keep cool there, John, but I think that the ground beat him in the end. He balanced, stood up, and then just at the moment when he tried to go past the player, he slipped over. We should have a look at that game later on. It was an interesting incident which shows the way in which I think Liverpool are going to score with his speed. They've not showed a lot of imagination and craft. That little spell there was the best so far, but before that they seem to be contented just to hump it up and hope that the pressure will bring about a goal. But they do miss Kenny Dalglish when it comes to deceiving opponents. That kind of quick mind that he has to bring about an opportunity that just doesn't arise from nowhere.
Here's Michael Robinson, and now Phil Neal. They've got 7 players forward, Liverpool here, and one of them is Souness there, who ran a good 35 yards from midfield. May have caught the goalkeeper's elbow as he went by him. With flag was up on the far side. We could be watching, theory anyway, preview of the Milk Cup final here. Villa through to the semi-finals, and Liverpool with a replay against Sheffield Wednesday next Wednesday, and kept apart in the draw. Here's Kennedy. That's Bremner. Now Rush. Williams taking the throw. On by McMahon, back by Kennedy. And again, the tumble taken, this time by Michael Robinson inside the penalty area. Not the best of passes from Kennedy. Certainly players finding it very difficult to change direction on this surface. Here's Robinson. But Johnston doing his best to get Liverpool moving. He's got Nicol in support. There he is, number 5. Johnston again. Flag up on our side for offside. So, 15 minutes left in the first half. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 0. The scorer, Dennis Mortimer. Running in from midfield to Rideout's pass and finishing in good style. Rideout. Now Lawrence. It's Gibson to Shaw. It was Johnston's pass that was the more telling to Souness. He couldn't find the strikers. Johnston's in there again. So was Nicol. This is Kennedy. Sammy Lee's pulled away to the far side. Souness. Souness shot and well held by Spink. Souness from midfield, and Alan Kennedy was running in for a possible rebound, which on this surface is always possible. Goalkeepers hoping to gather it as Spink did there. First time. But just in case, Kennedy was running in. At the moment with the Liverpool centre-backs. Souness. And now Lee. McMahon. And here's Gary Williams, and a chance for Villa to develop the play again. This is Mortimer. Nicol. And now Bremner. McMahon, and that's the ball again, offside against Rideout. That's the ball Villa are trying to use to defeat that line of Liverpool defenders. It's worked well for them once already, twice if you include the early effort by Rideout. And McMahon and Rideout hoping to work the same ploy again there. The flag from the linesman intervening. Robinson's gone down again. Souness. Rush lurking. was Hansen, and then Johnston. We've mentioned the absence of Dalglish. One ought to just say, too, that Gordon Cowans is out for the season. On by With. This is Kennedy. And Kennedy beats Williams. He's got Rush inside him and Robinson is further over. Coming from midfield, there were two others, but Gibson got a foot to it. Neal, Johnston, Souness. Johnston still there, so is Neal, and so is Souness. Just under 10 minutes left in the first half. Just a final word about those two injured players. Kenny Dalglish hoping to watch next Wednesday's game against Sheffield Wednesday. It'll be his first game back at Anfield as a spectator since his injury. And Gordon Cowans still in plaster and no chance of playing this season. Hansen, Lawrenson, Evans, Souness to Kennedy. Header by Bremner. Kirbishley. That was a nice piece of play, and Gary Shaw on the chase. Hansen in no danger. Bremner won that against Rush. Then got tangled up with Williams. Mortimer. And McMahon's gone through the middle. There was an offside flag up anyway, but look at Liverpool breaking here with four players. Lee to Robinson. Phil Neal can follow up. There are still five forward with him. Peter With was back defending, not terribly well. Souness appeals for handball there. Robinson turned to the referee, who didn't respond. Touching the bagatelles in the penalty area, it was ricocheting from one player to another after a rather poor defensive header by Peter With. Lawrenson forward. With back to Rush, back to Johnston. Lee. And forward by Gibson. There's Souness. Rush going down the right. But that might have worked on another day. The conditions are perhaps interrupting flashy moves which you might expect to come off. Gibson's made a good run though for Villa. He'll have to check. He's offside at the moment. But Rideout wasn't. And that was Kennedy going across with him. Peter With unable to cut off the pass back. Neal. Aston Villa leading by 1-0, scored by Mortimer after a quarter of an hour. And the best chance at the other end missed by Rush. There he is again. Nickel forward there for Liverpool. And Villa, oh, Robinson! Well, by the time he got past Spink, the angle was impossible. But Aston Villa putting themselves in difficulty of their own making. Michael Robinson taking it in his stride to go round Spink, but by then he couldn't get the ball into the goal. Here's Kirbishley. Bremner. Offside. Aston Villa with a very good home record this season in the league, beaten only once here in a First Division match, and that was by Arsenal, 6-2 remarkably. And they lead tonight 1-0, Villa. This is McMahon, or it was, Nicol, and offside against Robinson. 5 minutes left in the first half. Right out. McMahon, Williams, Kerbishley on this side as well, back into Williams from him. Away by Lawrenson, it's 2 against 2 here. Evans won it. Kerbishley. Neil. Evans. Had some great battles in the past, these two clubs, and this so far a tight match. Aston Villa with the lead, but Liverpool have possibly made the best 2 openings since then. Nicol, Johnston, and McMahon getting into trouble, so was Bremner, and Johnston's crossed to Rush, Robinson getting on the end of it, possibly. Villa have got a chance here to break, because the clearance by Gary Shaw found Kerbishley, and he in turn was looking for Rideout. Johnston on for Kennedy. Nicol making a run from midfield. This forward by Williams. This is Lawrenson. And Rush will chase that. Bremner's header. Nicol, Souness. Neil running from right back. Rideout trying to go with him. And Neil gives it to Gibson. And now Rideout. And with challenged by Lawrenson. Just under 2 minutes left in the first half here at Villa Park. Aston Villa lead 1-0 against Liverpool. Here's Hansen. Souness now on the left wing. Johnston's made a run across. There are still 3 waiting to come in from the far side for Liverpool. Hansen this is. Bremner's header away. Gary Shaw hoping to collect, but Sammy Lee went to the ball better. Here's Hansen. Souness, Hansen, and Johnston cuts with a chance of a shot. Time to line it up. see the trainers in that first half, so there was no stoppage time. And Dennis Mortimer's goal separates the two teams. Well taken in the 16th minute. Aston Villa, who made the better start, but then when Liverpool came back, Ian Rush missed what for him was a very presentable chance, which could so easily have made it 1-1. And after that, the play was pretty evenly shared. Liverpool, if anything, had rather more possession. But at half-time, the Villa supporters pleased to see their side in a 1-0 lead. So, Aston Villa leading by Mortimer's goal to kick off at the start of the second half. There's Gary Shaw. And here's Ian Rush. Another chance for him. Williams couldn't get to him. And that's 1-1. After 15 seconds of the second half, just when Liverpool wanted a goal, it came before the crowd had really settled down. Ian Rush from the long pass, running on, and as Gary Williams tried to get to him, Nigel Spink was out, but the ball is in the back of the net. And Rush will be pleased about that after his miss in the first half. So Liverpool equalise before Villa had time to catch their breath from the kickoff. Typical Liverpool, just when the opposition's guard is down, they're back in it. Mortimer. And Mortimer! Well, it was nearly 2-1. Dennis Mortimer following up the attack again. The back heel was a good one from width, and the shot just too high. So 1-1, and a good second half in prospect here now. Just can't seem to do anything wrong, Ian Rush, when he gets into those positions. And if he threatened to do something wrong in the first half, he's certainly made up for it now. His consistency is quite remarkable. Here's Nicol. Williams. Also bears out the point Bobby Charlton was making, the long ball forward again. Shaw. And With is coming in on this to knock it back in. And two deflections come to nothing. Peter With unselfishly trying to get it back inside for Mortimer. Here's Rush, and here's Lee, and Rush is off again through the middle, and again he's unmarked for a moment, but Bremner just got to him. And it's Aston Villa's turn now to defend somewhat desperately. This is Johnston. And Nicol is well forward, Souness trying to retrieve it. And in the end he did. Lee. Oh, and a chance there for Kennedy, who came through. And he's liable to come up in all sorts of positions. Alan Kennedy. Grobbelaar comes to meet With. There's Neil. Rush. And Shaw offside against Gibson. This is Lee. Johnston. Rush. There's Hansen. There's Lawrenson. Bremner got his head to that. Gary Shaw. And Kirbishley tries to get right out away. Peter With is on this side. Liverpool are streaming back in numbers. If anybody went out to make a cup of tea and didn't get back for the kick-off, Ian Rush was very quick off the mark, and Liverpool are level. And that's gone out for a corner to Aston Villa, who are now back where they started. McMahon. Header was by Robinson, only as far as Mortimer. Bremner also forward. This is Williams. Neil forward this time. Here's Kennedy. Free kick given. Here's Mortimer. And against the roof of the stand by Phil Neal. It was Johnston's touch, but it's Shaw who's battling back. Here's Mortimer, and on again, onside, Gary Shaw, but Grobler had plenty of time there. Lawrenson. Liverpool have got their game together again now. Here's Johnston. Souness. Looking for Nicol. Robinson. And Souness was still forward. And Spink made a fine save there. Bremner just turning it round. It was Souness with the shot. That was a good effort from a difficult angle. Had time to line it up, mind you. And Spink going to his left, turned it, and on the corner, Spink has to come again. And Graham Souness finding plenty of time to get forward and support the strikers. McMahon. Liverpool have certainly had the greater share of play, but Villa are offside here with Rideout. So typical of Liverpool, Jimmy, that they came back so quickly there.
They did, and they did it with Ian Rush's pace. Quite extraordinary. I mentioned the other week the ability really that turns an outstanding player into a special one, and he's got that extra yard of pace which he showed twice running then when he scored the goal and immediately afterwards when he nearly scored again, and it does make him so difficult to hold. But we've seen some classic football here. That shot and save you wouldn't see better anywhere. A Villa attack just now, the one that With nodded down and they stopped, was quite beautiful. Under the difficult conditions, flashes of extremely good football.
And this for Liverpool is Souness. And here's Neil. In the way was McMahon. And Craig Johnston is there. Lee. And Johnston. Neil. Oh, the flick on confused everybody except Evans. Liverpool's style and pattern never seems to change. They were a goal down, but as usual, just kept plugging away. Started the second half by equalising and are now dictating things again. This is Neil. Mortimer to Shaw. Michael Robinson getting up here. Most of the players keeping their feet pretty well. And indeed the referee and linesman after what Tony Gubba told us. Here's Neil. Forward by McMahon and Rideout trying to get the other side of Kennedy. Took it early because there was no support. That was Nicol in well on Kerbishley. Mortimer, who stumbled a little. It's matches like these in difficult conditions which means so much when the points are added up at the end of the season. Liverpool can achieve something here, keeps their noses in front in the championship race, and here's Sammy Lee finding Ian Rush. Souness on to Hansen. That's Bremner. example of the hard work of the Liverpool midfield. No sooner had Aston Villa begun to develop something there than Sammy Lee was back, intercepting, moving about the pitch in the way that one expects of an England player. Many of them will be playing for their places in the next international against France next month. We've been playing for an hour here at Villa Park in this important First Division match. The score is Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 1. Villa, who led from the 16th minute until the 16th second, virtually, of the second half. Souness. Hansen. Kennedy's made a run from left back. And that was Mortimer. Neal. Johnston, nice turn. Threatening to go all the way, and Alan Evans with the late challenge. So the Liverpool fans behind that goal able to find their voices as their team press forward. Michael Robinson waiting, being marked there by Alan Evans. Souness and Lee behind the ball. Neal's there too. And left for Souness to strike one across. Came off Bremner. Here's Neal. Flag is up for offside. To be taken by Nicol. Here's Rush. Oh, and Nicol followed through there. It took Kirbishley to stop him, and the shot going right across from Ian Rush and ending up as a throw-in on the other side. Aston Villa just debating what went wrong there defensively, but sorted it out now. Header by Evans. It's Williams forward. Header by Souness. Liverpool certainly not afraid to shoot from distance tonight anyway, Jimmy.
Yes, they have. It's not an easy skill either with the ball as lively as it is on this ground, but that shot of Souness's was really a perfect one. It was on the floor. I mean, it wasn't bouncing about, but he hooked it in there and brought about that spectacular save. But both sides settling to the conditions. Now, they've learned a bit in the first half, and whether new boots or old boots, they've just realising how best to play on it, keep possession and try and dictate when you've got it, and look for that final through ball that nearly happened there.
Alan Evans forward. That's width. And here comes Gibson. As it's become very much a midfield battle this last 15 minutes or so. Here's Johnston. Neal forward. Robinson is in the centre. There's a possibility for Nicol coming in, or Souness maybe. And Kennedy's there for Liverpool. Alan Kennedy, who scored here last season in a 4-2 win, but hasn't scored for Liverpool so far this season. We've been playing 20 minutes in the second half, and the score is 1-1. Not easy to increase the pace of the game for either side on a surface like this. And Rideout seemed to be checked by Hansen there. Free kick to Aston Villa. The chance for them to get forward after being pushed back for the last few minutes. This is Kerbishley. Rideout. Bit of a scramble on the edge of the area. Referee very well positioned. Here's Bremner. Mortimer's spun away to the left on this side, but Liverpool again getting bodies in the way. And here's Lee. And Souness into Robinson. That's the measured build-up, and Nicol trying to get in on the left-hand side. And it might go for Johnston, who charges into Nigel Spink. Well, Peter With gets the free kick against Mark Lawrenson. The Villa supporters hoping now for some action at the Holt end. They haven't troubled Grobbelaar too much in this second half, Aston Villa. With and Evans waiting. And they won't trouble them there either. The Holt end may be unaware of it because he's not one of their players, but Ian Rush has reached a milestone there with that goal early in the second half. It was his 25th of the season for Liverpool. Fine total. There he is again. And here's Kerbishley. Just doing some quick mathematics on Rush. I'm making about 86 goals now for him in 2.5 seasons for Liverpool. That's incredible consistency. He's top 30 the last 2 seasons. Free kick given. The only statistics that Liverpool are concerned about currently are the Canon League positions, and draw here might satisfy them, although they have had the greatest share of play, and it's still wide open. Here's Kerbishley, and that's wide open too. McMahon was the player making the run. Villa still believe that their best chance, obviously, is to catch Liverpool square. Johnston. Now Alan Hansen taking the chance to get forward. Kennedy's also moved up from left back, but that won't find him.
As the game goes into the last quarter, it's interesting to see how they view this 3 points for a win and 1 for a draw. Both sides at the moment desperately needing the 3 points for Europe and for the Championship, and would feel disappointed, I think, with one. But they've got to beat the conditions and they've got to beat their opponents to make the evening really pay off.
Well, trying to do that now. Steve McMahon, but straight to Phil Neal. And Souness trying to feed it through to Craig Johnston. Defenders, generally speaking, have been on top. There's no question about that. They've taken great care in these conditions, and it's a question now that anyone can break down the respective back fours. Here's Neal coming forward. And Liverpool have got a player over here in this attack. This is Souness. And Nicol is the man coming in for the header. And Rush was on the far side. Oh, what a tremendous shot. Well, they had a player over, and it was Ian Rush. And he has scored his second goal of the match, and just watch this. Steve Nicol got a flick. Ian Rush on the volley, left foot, far corner. Brilliant goal. See it from a different angle. Nicol got up to flick it on, and Aston Villa had lost their bearings a bit in defence, but don't blame anybody for that. Just congratulate the man who has now scored 26 goals for his club this season. A fabulous finish by Ian Rush makes it 2-1 to Liverpool in the 71st minute. So Rush, a scorer on this ground for the third consecutive season, and he won't have put a better one away than that, either here, I should think, or anywhere else. Mortimer. So Aston Villa, who led for much of the first half, now find themselves 2-1 behind, and it's the old familiar patient Liverpool picking their moment and then stealing a march on the opposition. What a way to do it. Rush again, Johnston, and now it's Robinson on the chase with Gary Williams. Wide out, right out for Aston Villa. Shaw. Very much a case now of Villa having to commit more men forward, behind for the first time in the match, and to a quite spectacular goal. And Liverpool showing this appetite again to win the ball. Sammy Lee was carrying it forward, McMahon for the Villa. Now, can they beat the offside? No, Liverpool for once deciding to bring their fullbacks round the back and cover. And Mortimer making the run. Phil Neal, the defender, and he was in charge. And the whistle's gone. Was that a goal of the month candidate, Jimmy? Or is that an understatement?
Well, I think it is. We're not allowed to choose, of course, at the moment. There could be anything happen, but I'm waiting to see the smile on Bobby Charlton's face when he sees that one after the match is over, which I'm sure we should do. It really was reminiscent of him at his very best. Not only is Rush a fast player, my goodness, but he shows he's got other accomplishments too. A magnificent volley in every respect. And what I liked as well was Graham Souness, when he had the chance to cross that ball. They're just getting into the attack now.
Kennedy forward, and Bremner likewise.
I was just saying, when the ball went to Graham Souness on the right, you know he's such an accomplished kicker of the ball that he was going to put over just the right sort of cross. Nicol did his stuff. It left half an opportunity, and it's a goal that we're going to remember for a long, long time on a cold night, but a warm goal.
Here's Craig Johnston as Liverpool seek to increase their lead. And I must say they deserve it on the play. The second half statistics, which I'll mention in a moment, reflect just how much in command Liverpool have been. They've had 7 goal attempts to Villa's 2 in the second half alone. Robinson. There are 15 minutes left and Liverpool wonder if they're on their way to their 3rd win here in consecutive seasons. Here's Sammy Lee. He's got 3 others up with him. Robinson's let the ball run, waiting for Nicol to come in behind. And it was Kerbishley who stretched his goalkeeper. This is Kennedy. Mortimer. McMahon. And Mortimer's running on again. McMahon and Lee. McMahon the winner there. And here comes Gibson for Aston Villa. And Rideout couldn't reach it, neither could With. They haven't quite got the service into those 2 tall forwards, Aston Villa. But the ball is still in play. And it still is. Bremner. Mortimer inside to Shaw. And With helps it on. And McMahon drives when it's been deflected, so Grobbelaar has to stop it. Well, how measured Liverpool have looked in this match. From the moment they recovered from a shaky start, they've looked the more controlled side and come from 1 down to lead 2-1. That's Rush on the chase. And again, Liverpool feed an extra man into the attack at a telling moment. And Michael Robinson had the shot, and Nigel Spink made the save. Good effort by Robinson. It's a corner to Liverpool, to be taken by Lee. Short for Robinson. Back again to Lee. Neil. Johnston. Now it's 4 Liverpool players lining up in the centre. Phil Neal with the flick. Craig Johnston with the run. Was he fouled by Gary Williams? One would have thought not, and the referee shook his head. Craig Johnston, who's had a nice run in the side. He's played in the previous 10 matches. By drawing here, Liverpool would have made sure they stayed top this weekend, but by winning here, if they do win, then that really does put the onus back on Manchester United. Here's McMahon. Kerbishley. McMahon again. Mortimer well forward. Little push in the back, said the referee, by Alan Hansen. .11 minutes to go, so an opportunity perhaps here for Aston Villa. Gibson has gone across to join the posse of players around the ball. Alan Evans and Dennis Mortimer are also there. And Gibson strikes the wall. Player following up was Kirbishley with the overhead kick. Gary Shaw's in there trying to get a shot, volleyed away by Sammy Lee. Michael Robinson trying to hold it up. Ten minutes to go here at Villa Park in this First Division game. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 2. Mortimer scored for Aston Villa in the first half. Ian Rush has scored both Liverpool's goals in the second half. Here's Steve Nicol. Oh, and he's hovering again. There is Rush. Well, I say, the man just can't be stopped. It's a hat-trick. This time, Steve Nicol supplies the pass. Rush gets behind the defence, lobs the ball over goalkeeper Nigel Spink, and the goal machine produces another hat-trick. This is number 27 this season for Ian Rush, and with 9 minutes to go, it makes the score Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 3, and surely emphasises Liverpool's superiority in this match, and indeed in the First Division table. Well, he surely is the most consistent First Division goal scorer in the short time he's had in that division since Jimmy Greaves. His output is astounding. And there he goes again. Villa now with 2 goals to make up in the last 8 minutes. And against Liverpool, that takes some doing. This fixture over the years has produced its share of goals. Indeed, the last 7 times they've met in the league here, these clubs, they've produced 28. So an average of 4 a match has been nicely matched by tonight's performance. Right out. And it's a lucky ground for Liverpool, there's no doubt about that. They appear to be on their way to their 8th victory in 12 league visits. Well, earlier this season, Rush got 5 in a match against Luton. And when you see him in this mood, you just wonder whether there is any team that can stop him. Here's Lee. It's also worth making the point, Rush was involved in a car crash last weekend on Saturday night. His girlfriend was injured, he escaped unhurt, was shaken up. Doesn't seem to have affected his football. Just under 7 minutes to go, it's all Liverpool now. Souness to Rush. Indeed, he was saying how fortunate he was, Ian Rush, to escape from that accident without damaging himself. So even though Liverpool don't have Dalglish, they're still a formidable side. Johnston running on this time. Aston Villa have been pinned back for almost the entire second half. And Robinson trying to get a touch at the near post. And I must say, from an Aston Villa point of view, this is a disappointing performance, because although they're playing the league leaders, their chairman's had some fairly strong things to say recently about the results he expects. And in front of their own supporters here, they're being, certainly in the second half, outplayed by Liverpool. So not a happy night for Tony Barton, the Aston Villa manager there in the raincoat in the centre, or his assistant there, Roy McLaren, to the right as we look. Evans with the back header, and I think the defence would have been disappointed in the way Rush was allowed that third goal. Flags up, the ball was out of play. There's Hansen. Liverpool have looked untroubled at the back in the second half. In fact, their worst spell, Liverpool, was the first 10 minutes. Well, indeed, the point up to when Mortimer scored. After that, they just shut the gates and wiped out the lead and proceeded to take over in typical Liverpool style. Style that's won them the championship for the last 2 years. Are they going to go on and complete the hat-trick, which in the past only Arsenal and Huddersfield have achieved, and those were both pre-war. 4 minutes left then at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 3. All the goals for Liverpool scored by Ian Rush. Here's Souness. And also very familiar Liverpool style to come back from a poor result, the one against Wolves last Saturday, to achieve 2 good ones away from home in the next few days. That's Evans, did the safest thing. And that's McMahon trying to keep his feet against Steve Nicol. I must say it's been a good-tempered match. There's been no ill feeling between the players, and the referee, who's kept it going nicely, would probably agree that it's been a comfortable match to handle. Shaw. Forward by Hansen. I should think the watching Benfica coach will have learned 1 or 2 things tonight, and I should think it's probably put some fear into him, seeing how Liverpool have taken over away from home here. Just a couple of minutes left. Here's McMahon. Quite a few Villa fans streaming out of the ground now. And if it has been a test of character on this surface, it's Liverpool's that shone through. Here's McMahon though for Villa. Offside flag was up. The referee has no need to stop the play. Good acknowledgement to the linesman, and on we go. Souness looking for Robinson. Nice to see the advantage played like that. This is the last minute of normal time. Dennis Mortimer, the furthest player forward for Aston Villa. Gary Shaw, who's hardly been in the match, couldn't get to that. Liverpool, a team for all conditions. Sammy Lee makes the run. It may be the last minute of the match, but he's tireless. Bremner and Villa have got players on the fringe of the Liverpool line here, hoping to break through. With is up there. And that's the end of a very comprehensive Liverpool performance. One which confirms their position at the head of the First Division and confirms that Ian Rush is the most prolific goal scorer around at the moment. Tony Barton looks disappointed, and well he might. His team, after taking an early lead, were outclassed in the second half. Ian Rush got a hat-trick. Mortimer scored for Aston Villa. The final score at Villa Park: Villa 1, Liverpool 3.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it at home as much as Bobby and I. Marvellous match, Bob.
Great, and it just shows you it doesn't need to be tremendous conditions to produce an exciting game. And the finishing, unbelievable. I mean, Ian Rush, you have to dust the record books off because he's going to play a big part in them. He's got to be one of the greatest strikers, if not the greatest striker in the world at the moment. He's deadly round the box. And I mean, half a chance, it doesn't matter. He loves scoring goals, you know. If he gets a couple, he wants a few more. He's insatiable. Great lad, great player.
Bob, well, let's have a look now at that remarkable second-half hat-trick from that man, Ian Rush.
So, Aston Villa leading by Mortimer's goal to kick off at the start of the second half. There's Gary Shaw. And here's Ian Rush. Another chance for him. Williams couldn't get to him. And that's 1-1. After 15 seconds of the second half, just when Liverpool wanted a goal, it came before the crowd had really settled down. Ian Rush from the long pass, running on, and as Gary Williams tried to get to him, Nigel Spink was out. And Liverpool have got a player over here in this attack. This is Souness. And Nicol is the man coming in for the header. And Rush was on the far side. Oh, what a tremendous shot. Well, they had a player over, and it was Ian Rush. And he has scored his second goal of the match, and just watch this. Steve Nicol got a flick. Ian Rush on the volley, left foot, far corner. Brilliant goal. Here's Steve Nicol. Oh, and he's hovering again. There is Rush. Well, I say, the man just can't be stopped. It's a hat-trick. This time Steve Nicol supplies the pass. Rush gets behind the defence, lobs the ball over goalkeeper Nigel Spink, and the goal machine produces another hat-trick.
Well, I think it's worth pointing out that the players played very sensibly tonight under the conditions which helped. Just to let you know now, there's a Milk Cup replay in Sports Night on Wednesday next. Match of the day reverts to its normal Saturday night spot next weekend. 3 matches from the 4th round of the FA Cup and the January Goal of the Month competition. 10:35 on Saturday. But what a night for Ian Rush tonight. Good night.